He got cut off over there. Jacob said that, Rashi says that when Jacob said that he defended himself and he was successful against the nations with his sword and his bow, it means with his prayer and his beseeching from Hashem. And for prayer one needs very great brazenness and stubbornness, as Rabbeinu of blessed memory said in the Likutei Moharan, teaching 30, Torah 30, and the end, that it is impossible to stand and pray before Hashem Yisbarach except through brazenness, because everyone, according to how his heart fathoms the greatness of the Creator, blessed is His name, as it says in the Holy Zohar, Noda Bashayim Bala, we say in Eshes Chayil, that her husband is known in the gates. Right? He's famous for his wisdom, his saintliness. So the Zohar says on that verse, Noda Bashayim Bala, that the word gates, Basharim, is l'sha'er, is to estimate, to fathom. That every person, the Zohar says, has their own comprehension, how much they could fathom in their heart the greatness of Hashem. Everyone according to how they fathom in their heart. So Rabbeinu says, every person, small or big, according to how they fathom the greatness of Hashem, it's impossible for him to stand and pray before Him. And especially prayer, which is wonders. It's called prayers is wonders because it completely just messes around all the constellations. It realigns them, because the constellations obligate, they dictate that this and this is going to happen in the world. And he puts in brackets in the matter at our hand now, that every king has set his kingdom, and we want to put up and coronate the holy kingdom in that slowly now. We want to raise it up. So according to the constellations, this is what's going on. That all this mayhem is going around in the world, all this darkness and heresy, and the holiness is low. That's what the constellations are dictating. And every star and mazel, all the constellations and the horoscopes, they're set in on what they're guarding their procedure, their intent, the way Hashem Yisbarach set them up. They have a scheme that Hashem Yisbarach set up to rule the world. Everything's channeled through. That's how Hashem set up the world. That everything is channeled through them. So they're set. And this person comes with his prayer, and he wants to disrupt and to disband all these constellations, the whole arrangement, and to make wonders. That's what happens when a person is praying. He's saying to Hashem, I need this. But the constellations were set already, not like that. But he's saying, he's standing before Hashem, and he's saying, he's making wonders. He's distorting all the Therefore, so how does a person even have the guts to do such a thing? You go before a king, and the king has a whole grand setup, and you say, no, I want this. Every person, according to how much he fathoms the greatness of what Hashem is doing in the world, how could he pipe up his little voice and distort everything? Therefore, Rabbeinu said in the Kuteman that a person during prayer needs to, he has to do away with his embarrassment. as it says in the verse that in you Hashem our forefathers put their faith. They put their faith and they weren't shamed. What does it mean they weren't shamed? For sure they had shame of Hashem, but there are times when you have to cast away the shame. When a person comes to pray before Hashem, he needs holy brazenness and stubbornness, not to pay attention to the shame, to be strong in order to pray before Hashem. Because through embarrassment, it's impossible to pray before Hashem. Only through brazenness. So he says that's what we have to, right? That's what we have to be using the brazenness for, not to go rebel against governments, but to rebel against the inadequacy of our worship to Hashem, and to be strong and bring the holy government, the holy kingship of Hashem higher. And this is the aspect of what is written in Psalms, that you are the God who does wonders, and you made known in your nations your power, your brazenness, your strength, your mightiness. The Hashem Yisbarach does wonders through the prayers of Israel. So the verse says, you Hashem are, right, you do wonders, and you show your wonders. You show the nations your wonders, your might, uzecha, which also means your brazenness. So this is what he's saying. Beinu revealed on this, that he shows the nations the brazenness of the prayers of Israel, because in order for Israel to make these prayers, it took great brazenness, and through these prayers, there are all types of results in what's going on in the world. So that's what Hashem's showing the world, the brazenness of Israel in their prayers, which is all through the brazenness, and this is. And through this brazenness in the prayers, Hashem Yisbarach shows the Gentiles the holy brazenness of Israel, as our sages said that these sages, Talmidei Chachamim, they're weak like women. You know, you see these sages, they're busy all day studying. They're very weak. They're fasting or eating what they eat. There's no exercise, no. They're very weak people, weak like women, but they do mightiness like men. And this is just through the holy power, which is the power of Hashem Yisbarach. It's not natural. As it says in the verse in Psalms, that the children of Ephraim, they're armed with bows, and they turn everything about on the day of battle, and they were turned about on the day of battle. And the rabbi said that this verse is referring to the children of Ephraim. They left Egypt before the time came. They wanted to do away with the exile, so they wanted to bring redemption. They left Egypt early, before the time, and they had trust. They were confident in their own strength, because already then there was already started to sparkle. There was already a sparkling of the light of the end of the redemption, and they received they were in tune. They felt this light. They got this light from the redemption, but it was still too early. But it was already starting to sparkle. But they went with this, and they were confident in their strength, because they did not purify their vessels. So therefore, it turned around on them in their minds, the impurity. Since their vessels, their faith wasn't refined and pure, so it was the pollution in their vessels. It distorted their position, their outlook, and it caused them to put confidence in their strength, in their own power, and their own ability, and therefore they felt like dung on the ground. That's what happened when our sages said they were wiped out. They were killed out, and so Reb Getzel says that's what's going to happen now too. So he's addressing the early Zionists that were all gung ho to make war against, we'll make war, and we're going to do it, because he's saying it's just like then they were already. Where does it come from? He says it comes from the fact that it's already a sparkling of the redemption. It's already came the time, but not completely. It's just starting. So they're in tune with that. They feel it. They feel it in the air. Feel, wow, what are we doing? Wasting, being under this, subjected to. We need to. They start feeling the redemption, but since they're not refined well enough to be in tune properly with their feelings and with this new light that's coming, so they take it to empower themselves and their own confidence in themselves, and they went out and fought, and they were lost. And so is explained also in Josephus, in the time of the destruction of the second temple. It was like that too. That the paritzim, the ones that the ones that broke brink, they had put faith in their strength, and through that they didn't have mercy on the rest of them. And like then and just like now. Okay, this is it's gonna have to be another video for this. Explains a little of the anarchy that was taking place in that time and in these times. We're gonna have to cut it here. Bezrat Hashem, we should merit to put out the rest. Nanach Nachman Uman.